Subscribe to our YouTube channel, press the bell icon and stay entertained. Tracking milestones of an incredible journey spanning 30 years. Rahman Music Sheets.
Rahman is a true original. That is what I admire from him. What an amazing imagination. He's not trying to be like somebody else. The minute anybody is unapologetically particular is the very minute they become universal. A R Rahman's music will endure because it surpasses time, space, emotions, and most of all, his love for humanity.
Very few films have been made on India's partition. 1947 Earth is one of them. In our last episode, we focused on its songs. Just in case you missed it, link to this episode is given in the description. Released in 1999, Earth was India's official entry for Academy Awards in the Best Foreign Language Film category. Rahul Khanna won the Filmfare Award in the year 2000 for the Best Male Debut in Earth. The award became sweeter when the same year his father Vinod Khanna received the Lifetime Achievement Award. A R Rahman excels at theme tracks, be it Bombay, Rangila or Swades. Theme track of 1947 Earth is up there among his best.
I think it is an iconic track, and it's so interesting that a lot of the music, the background score that he created for Earth, most of it he did on a keyboard in the mixing studio in Toronto. So it was fascinating. And one of the themes of Earth, he actually used a local violinist, a local trombone player, and they were so surprised because he said, they said, where's the sheet music? And Rahman said, you don't need one, just listen to me. And, they, to this day, cannot forget their meeting with this amazing composer who said, we don't need sheet music right now. And I remember sitting here at, I think it was in Technicolor maybe, I don't know, in a lab in Toronto, and he was sitting there in the middle of the studio with his keyboard, and he did the composition of the theme of Earth.
Ma'am, for a film like Earth, the color palette that you choose can contribute a lot in creating a mood for the narrative. So, did you really have any specific brief to your cinematographer?
I felt it very strongly that it should have the colors of the Indian flag. That I remember so there's a lot of orange and there's a lot of green and there's a lot of white in the film.
The central character, a young girl, Lenny, happens to be a Parsi, neither Hindu nor Muslim. So did you find it to be a safe option to narrate the story?
The book, I have to tell you, the book is autobiographic. And it's written by Bapsi Sidhwa, who is a Parsi, and she has polio, and it's based on her life. So the reason Little Lenny is actually Little Bapsi. The book is based from her point of view, so that's the way it should go, yeah. It had to be from a child's point of view, and that's what I loved about the book, yeah.
In the film, a Hindu girl falls in love with a Muslim man. Muslims hide Sikhs from mob. Act of violence and kindness transcended religious divide, as it actually happened during partition. So, how did you look at these as a filmmaker?
I think that anything that's done, when we have divisions or we create violence in the name of religion, it's despicable. That's all I have to say about it. So I didn't look at it about a Hindu or a Muslim. I just looked at it as two people falling in love, who the world outside them divides, not them.
How relevant is 1947 Earth today?
I think it's a historical film. So it's like saying, I don't know, how do I know if it's relevant or not? That's a question for the people. for me, it'll always be relevant because for me, what the film says is that any sectarian war is harmful. And what Bapsi Sidhwa said about her book is so relevant to me that all women, quote unquote, all wars are fought on women's bodies. That's why it's relevant to me.
Looking at 1947 Earth and the world we live in today, is there anything that we are learning from our history?
I'm asking you, is anybody learning anything from history? Look what's happening in Ukraine right now. Look what's happening in America right now, where abortion is being turned down, is being questioned. I mean, things are falling apart. The rise of populism, nationalism all over the world is very scary. So it's not just India. I think the whole world is after the pandemic, is on quicksand. We all are trying to figure out what we are, who we are. But some things I know for sure is that A R Rahman's music will endure because it surpasses time, space, emotions, and most of all, his love for humanity.
Water, the third film of the Elements trilogy by Deepa Mehta. Set in Varanasi of 1930s, the film focuses on poverty, deprivation and exploitation of widows. It was the first Canadian film which was not set in Canada. Its language was Hindi, yet it was nominated for Oscar as the Best Foreign Language Film at the 79th Academy Awards in 2007. A R Rahman considers Water among his best and most satisfying work.
I am thrilled that he would say that Water is his most satisfying work because it certainly is mine. Out of everything that I've done, there's something that is so pure about the music that he composed for Water that it takes you to another level. And Sukhwinder wrote some amazing lyrics, but it's how he managed to touch the emotional core of every scene is what amazes me about Rahman and Water. What Rahman would do, and I remember this for Water, was that with the lighting of the candle and the silence, the whole room would be sort of infused with the purity that comes from Sufism. And that's where I felt that he would draw his inspiration from. It wasn't from a space of a dhamaka, it was from a place of a meditative silence. And that's what makes his music special.
Rahman had composed all the 6 songs of Water before the film's shooting was stalled in India. Deepa Mehta had to shift to Sri Lanka to shoot the film. Mychael Danna composed 15 background tracks for various situations.
Ma'am, when you have one composer doing songs and another doing the background music, what kind of challenge is it for the film and filmmaker?
Mychael Danna, he's won Oscars, so it's not as if you just picked somebody up from the street. And Mychael Danna is a real admirer of Rahman, and Rahman likes Mychael's work. So it was a really a beautiful marriage, actually, and which both the composers were extremely satisfied with.
For you, what's Rahman's biggest strength as a music composer?
Biggest strength as a composer is, I think that he's not derivative at all. What I love about Rahman is that he's not trying to be like somebody else. He's a great admirer of South Indian composers or even S.D. Burman or Western composers. But Rahman is a true original. That is what I admire from him. What an amazing imagination. He gets transported into a space that I'm left open-mouthed with, because it comes for a complete originality.
Ma'am, you were born in India but have stayed away from India for many decades, and you have worked here in Canada. What is it that connects Rahman's music to the global audience?
Well, I mean, first of all, I was born in India, but I grew up there, and I went to school and university there. I go back home, India, every 3 months, so it isn't as if I'm a true NRI who hasn't been back. My family's still there. What connects? I think there is no question about the fact that what connects Rahman to a global audience is that, I keep on using this line, but it's true. He's very particular. The minute anybody is unapologetically particular is the very minute they become universal. He doesn't try to be like anybody. He is himself. The minute somebody as talented as Rahman is himself and is not trying to imitate anybody is the very second he becomes totally accessible to the universe.
Which is your favorite song composed by Rahman?
I love that song from Bombay a lot. I like the music in Bombay hugely. And I love Ishwar Allah Tere Jahan Mein Nafrat Kyun Hai Jang Hai Kyun, because it continues to speak to me, the music itself. And even the last song in Water was really beautiful. I loved the music that he did for Water, I really did. The songs for Water are sublime.
Is there anything else that you would like to talk about Rahman as a composer or as a person?
I've already said so much. Now he's going to get his ears red. He'll say, "Why did you talk so much, Deepa?" I can imagine him saying that. No, the other thing that I really admire about Rahman is that he's such a dedicated family man. He's a wonderful husband. He's a great father, and he was a wonderful son and a wonderful brother. His mother, he brought everybody together. That's what makes him a good man. He believes in charity. He gives. He mentors young composers and singers. So it's not just about him and himself. He's a very generous man. And I think he was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful son to his mother. And to Saira, he's been a very understanding and he's very funny. I don't know if you know that about him. He cracks jokes. He makes me laugh all the time. And, we've had times when we've gone to the dargah in the middle of the night in Nizamuddin, or when he and Saira have come here, they've been at home and Saira makes the most amazing egg curry, So it's been very relaxing. There's an aspect of him which is really, really at home wherever he goes, because he's an authentic person. And you have to be authentic to be comfortable wherever you are. He's definitely one of the most amazing men I have ever met in my life.
Shweta Shetty. Many eyebrows were raised when Rahman chose her to sing for Roja and Rangila. Pop queen of 90s, Shweta Shetty joins us in next episode. Stay with us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, press the bell icon and stay entertained.